There you go. Welcome to another episode of Prostyle Podcast, and today is very unique. It's very cool. I have, in my opinion, the top cornerback in the league. I know a lot of people like to talk about Jalen Ramsey, Patrick Peterson, all those other guys, and I'm biased, obviously, for a couple of reasons. Of course, the guy's a Vandy guy, but for me, this guy's he does it all. You know, he goes inside, he goes outside, plays everywhere. Two-time Pro Bowler, two-time All-Pro, Vandy alumni. Please welcome my man Casey Hayward to the show. Casey, how you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me, man. Hey, you said some true facts, though. You said some true facts.
Listen, man. I had to have you on the show because not a lot of people understand that you really is the top cornerback in the league. Because when you not like, I don't just go off, numbers, right? Everybody's big number guys, right? My man play inside, my man play outside. He can go anywhere. He can play zone. He can play man. You got some guys, they just play zone and they're good and they're considered top cornerbacks. I don't believe in that. You got some guys that are man to man. They do well, but they're terrible in zone. I don't believe in that. So I had to have you on, man. Had to, man.
Yeah. But I can talk a little ball.
Yeah, and a ball hawk, right? A lot of cornerbacks cannot catch the ball. Like they are, I've seen the ball explode in guys' hands, like sometimes, and it just baffles me.
They say that's why we play DB and not wide receivers.
Exactly. But I mean, you've led the league in interceptions before. You do your thing. Let's start high school, man. At what point did you know that, hey, I actually have a shot to be a really good player?
Probably like my 10th grade year. Going into my 10th grade year, we had a guy that just started my freshman year. He was a junior, and then he was going to be a senior. He wasn't bad at all. He was pretty good. And then my coach told him that I was going to start. So
oh, man.
He had to transfer.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he transferred
out of there.
He transferred his senior year, and then I started ever since. And then, it took off from there. I played quarterback in high school.
Yeah.
Then moved to DB when I got to college.
So that makes sense why you're a ball hawk, a corner, because you play more than just DB,
Yeah. You know what? Going back to high school, especially in my area, a lot of the guys play quarterback. Like some of the better athletes around the state play quarterback. Going back to I know Brandon Boykins.
Yeah.
Nick Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Just to name a few. There's so many more that I know off the top of my head. But you get a little feel for the game a little more because in high school I even read coverages, so I knew what people was in. So
nice.
It's very similar.
That's big. So I mean, you dominated in high school. You made guys leave the premises, and I mean, you just did your thing in high school. What made you sign with Vanderbilt, man? There's so many other schools, and you chose VU.
Yeah, I had a few other offers, but I just felt like Vanderbilt was the perfect opportunity for me to be able to show my talents. Because we're gonna play in the best conference in the, gonna play in the best conference in the SEC. So I'll be able to go against some of the top guys, and then also you think about the education. A lot of people say, this is not a 4-year plan; it's a 40-year plan. You know what I mean? So
right.
You gotta think about that, take that into consideration, and be able to network and all these little aspects of life. And I felt like Vanderbilt was going to be the perfect opportunity for me.
Yeah, so let's talk about that 40-year plan too. After you got drafted, which you was a second-round draft pick to the Green Bay Packers, after you got drafted, a lot of people don't know that you actually went back to school to finish your undergrad, man. Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I went back. I told my mom and I told Chancellor Williams.
Yeah.
Williams. That's my guy.
That's my
guy. So I told him I'll make sure I could come back and finish. I was like, listen, I got 13 hours left. I know my second semester of my last year, I'm not going to be here because I was training.
Yeah.
So after my first year, I tried to make sure I come back. And they lined it up and made sure I was able to come back. And Miss Woods, that was my academic advisor. And college, she made sure I was able to get all my schooling right. So it was a little easy transition for me because I know if I didn't go that first year,
Oh yeah, it's a wrap.
It's gonna be hard to go back.
Yeah, it's a wrap. I did the same thing. Man.
You know.
I went back and that you got all your teammates. They're on the beach. They're in Dominican. They having fun and partying. They like, where you at? I'm like, man, I'm in class. It's like, like I'm in class. Like, I mean,
that's how it works. My teacher made my advisor made it a little easier for me because she gave me some independent study classes. She gave me 2 hours.
Those are big.
And I took another class on campus. So it was able to transition a little easier for me because I only had, one of the classes on campus.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, those independent studies are clutch, man. And kudos for Miss Woods for getting that done, my man. The Vandy grad, man. So you get drafted by the Packers. You go into a historic organization. Day one, man. How was it being in that locker room?
You know what? It was pretty good, especially coming in as a rookie because we had some veteran guys in there.
Yeah.
Coming in as a rookie, you don't know much. You don't know how to be a pro.
Right.
So I had guys like Tremont Williams, Charles Woodson that was there. But I learned a lot from Tremont. He showed me the basics of how to be a pro. He showed me how to study film, to do it outside of being, at that facility in order to be, one of the greatest and one of the good players and run this league. You gotta study film. And he just showed me how to be a pro on and off the field. So shout out to Tremont because I learned a lot from him.
How was it playing? Because we played against each other, man. We had our good battles. But there was one guy that I always found myself, excited to play against, and that was Charles Woodson, man. I don't know if it's because, when I was a kid, I had his jersey, and now, like, I'm playing against him, or just because, like, he's one of the elite top players, in the league at the time, Hall of Fame guy. How was it being in the room with C. Wood, man? Because, like, he was just, like, that guy that I just love to play against.
Yeah, you know what, Charles, when I got there, Charles was older, but he still was playing at a high level.
Yeah.
So when I first, because everybody a fan of Charles. If you play DB, you know he's one of the best to ever do it. So when I got there, I was a little in awe, but he made it a little easy. He was one of the guys that you could talk to and do all those things with that. If you ask him a question, he's going to tell it to you. He's not going to be out to trying to keep everything to himself because he's done this at a high level, and he wants you to go out there and compete with him at a high level. Yeah. But I will tell you this. I got a little story. When it was my rookie year, I played with him for that first year. My rookie year, he got hurt. And, he played nickel and safety. So safety, when the nickel come in, he moves down, they bring in the extra safety. Yep. So I wasn't playing as much my rookie year, like to start off, and he got hurt. Then I was able to come in and, start. I started outside. I was playing nickel, and I was doing really well at nickel. And he was coming back towards the end of the season. He was coming back. And, of course, he's Charles Woodson.
Right.
He slided in right away. He going into the slot no matter how good I've been playing. I have been playing really well.
Yeah.
6 picks that year and things like that. But Charles, being the vet he is, he said, yo, we don't want to take him out of that role. He's been playing really well.
Right.
Keep him in that slot, and I'll just stay at safety. So we can keep everything kosher and everything, well, because he's been playing well. We don't need to take him out of that role. So I was still able, when he came back, to stay in that role of, being in the nickel playing outside type guy. Yeah.
And there's only a handful of guys that will happen for, right?
Right, exactly.
I mean, Charles get injured, a guy steps in, 6 interceptions, he's doing his thing. Typically, that's the end of their career for that guy, like, hey, we got a younger guy that's feisty, he's making plays, he's doing everything we ask. We just going to let him ride this out the rest of the season. You ride the hot hand. But Charles Woodson, they like, hey, man, Charles back. We appreciate everything you've been doing. We just going to slide you, to this position. You still going to play, but just not that position because Charles is back. which,
Yeah, exactly.
which is very
he,
unique because
you know,
that won't happen for everybody.
no, because when he won the defensive MVP, he was doing everything. He was playing the slot, the dime, safety, doing everything. So that's something he was familiar with. He was blitzing, doing everything. So that was, he was really good at.
And I used to get mad because he used to disguise his blitz so well, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I could never get as good as he was. I was decent
gracious.
but he was just so smart. He knew the play before it was coming. He was like, oh, they're going to think the blitz coming that way. I'm going to show, and I'm still going to come. Or I'm going to stay this way. I'm going to move this way to the safety and come shoot down on the snap of the ball. You like,
I could never figure it out. I could never figure it out, man. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people show their hand. You have Antoine Winfield. He was another guy that did a great job with disguising his blitz. But other than that, like, when the guy's going, you're like, oh yeah, he's about to blitz.
Especially from the slot, we get
from the slot. Yeah, you know when they about to go. But Wilson, you just like, he gone. Like, oh man, it's surprising. But you go into free agency. Signed with the Chargers, man. Been doing your thing, Pro Bowl, All Pro. Talk about how what helped elevate your game, like, once you got to the Chargers.
I think when I originally got there, what helped me is they just told me I was going to strictly play outside. So a lot of teams had me slotted as a nickel. And when I got there, it was like, well, we got a nickel. We got Brandon Flowers. He's good at nickel. We're going to slot you outside. So when I got there, I was able to just focus on outside and just be locked in. Because I've been playing at a high level for many years. Just people just didn't get to notice. You know what I mean? So when I was able to go out there and do it at a high level, just strictly playing outside, people just started noticing. People were like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can do it again. Then I was able to go out here and do it again and do it again. So it's like, hey, a lot of people notice. A lot of people give me, my due respect now. Yeah.
Nah, it's definitely due. Long overdue. Let me say that. And you've been doing your thing. Y'all defense is scary. You guys are doing well. One tough question for you. Who's that one receiver that you love going against? That one guy that he's going to come out, he's going to talk trash, he's good. You got to bring your A game. And it's just gonna be a grind. It's gonna be a fist fight all game long.
Who would I say? I probably got like a couple in mind. Maybe like
a couple.
Yeah, I got like Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
I got come ready to play. Come ready to play every time because he got routes. He good at the line of scrimmage. He got everything he can run. So every time I go against him, I know I got to be locked in.
Yeah.
Ready to go. Then you get your guys like you got your DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Yeah, he's a big guy. The most overrated receiver. Give me a guy.
Overrated.
Overrated. They just think this guy is just all world, and he's really not.
I don't know.
No,
I've been against some good players. I've been matching the last couple of years. I've been matching one, so
yeah.
I don't get to see them.
So you don't get to see those guys that are the twos that really think they ones, or the threes that think they should be ones.
Yeah, I ain't ran against the threes that think they should be. I know some threes that think they should be ones. But the ones typically be pretty good. Even the twos, some of the twos are like 1A, 1B. You get your jujus and things like that. So you got some receivers outside of the ones that are really good as well. But they're in this league. They can play. They can play.
Yeah.
Some ain't as good as others because it's just ain't physically got it like some of the other guys.
So let's transition a little bit, man, because Prostyle looks at the symmetry between hip hop and sports. What's that one song you banging before you go out there on the field?
Oh, before I go on the field. You know what? Each year is gonna be different for me. Each year. Because it's gonna be some new guys coming out.
Yeah.
Who was I banging this year?
Lil Baby, Gunna.
Of course, Gunna was on my playlist heavy.
Yeah.
He was on my playlist. Gunna was on my rotation, the heavies. You got the baby. I
Yep.
mess with the baby.
Yep.
I'm a big Jeezy fan though, so I always can revert back to him.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. All day.
I
All
always
day.
can revert back to him. So I go to him. And right now I'm listening to Lil Key, he from out here.
Yep.
Then you got DC Fooley.
Yep.
He a local guy from back home, but he got some good music. And man, I be listening to so much music, bro. There be so much stuff going on. I listen to a lot of stuff though.
No, that's dope. That's dope. So,
old Rich Homie Corn too.
Oh yeah, shout out to Rich Homie Quan, man, a Prostyle Podcast member, alumni. We had him on, man. He was super cool, super dope. Just talk about, going into the studio and how he prepared mentally. He's like, I got to have candles in the studio, man. He goes, I may have like one or two guys in the studio with me because I don't really like a lot of people's opinions, And so I thought it was really cool to have him on and just share with us how, he prepares, going into the studio, same way like we prepare going into a game. Like we got to have like.
I was just listening to Rich Homie today. Matter of fact, I went a little old school, even though it ain't too old, but I went a little old school.
Yeah, man. His new album, Rich as in Spirit, is out too. It's dope.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
He's continuing to do his thing. He got that sound, man. It just that is different. I can't even say it's an Atlanta sound. It's just a different sound, and that's why
a lot of people start, mimicking him a little bit.
Yep.
That's one of my guys I really listen to as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and Lucci. Why I say Lucci? Yeah, he in heavy rotation all the time too.
So, what's the symmetry that you see between hip hop and sports?
'Cause the grind. I know it's a grind.
You
can start guys that haven't made it, like the underground guys.
Right.
You can revert that back to being in college or being in, revert it back to being in college because they haven't made it. So you got to start from the ground up.
Right.
You got to find from being a freshman into graduating into making it to the big league. You know what I mean? So it's a grind all the way up, and it's unique to see some of the guys that started, from the bottom. You can go from the Travis Scotts.
Right.
I just seen a video of him like a couple of weeks ago where he was performing and nobody knew a song of his.
Mm-hmm.
And then they 10 second clip later, the whole college on his new stuff. So it's just a whole grind of, starting here and the work that you have to put in to get to the top. Right.
No, that grind is definitely serious. I mean, you look at yourself going from high school, those days that you put in on that field, working out in the gym, then you get to Vandy, you're trying to make a name for yourself. You're still grinding. You make all SEC. And then even when you get to the league, you're still trying to make a name for yourself. Like it just never stops. And then once you cement yourself as one of those like top players, like you got to try to hold it. You got to try to hold it as long as possible. And that's what those guys in the rap game do. You have a lot of guys that be underground for a long time. One guy in particular that comes to mind is Lil Flip, right? Lil Flip was underground for so long, and him, Slim Thug, the Boss Hog Outlaws, those guys were underground. And like now, Lil Flip, he came out with that one album. I think it went like triple platinum when he first
sold a lot of records.
Sold a lot of records, and it did very well. Slim Thug still doing his thing here in Houston, continue to put on for the city, doing great things around the city of Houston. And yeah, man, that's just one aspect of the symmetry between hip hop and sports. Look at, the competitiveness of the sport, the beef, the rivalries, everybody want to be number one. Everybody want to be the top guy. So, yeah.
Everybody want to be the best. And then also everybody got different opinions. Somebody else going to say he's the best. Somebody else going to say he's the best. So it's definitely similar. You got your Jay-Z's of the world.
Because when people see
that's like a quarterback.
When people see this, you know what they gonna say? How dare Casey Hayward say he the best cornerback in the league?
Somebody gonna say that.
You know somebody gonna say that. And then somebody gonna tell me, Earl, how dare you say you're just saying that because he's a Vandy guy. No, go back and watch film, man, and you'll see why. But
a lot of people don't do what I do.
But you're gonna have somebody that come out and say, man, They biased. They lying, you know?
Yeah,
But, hey,
somebody
man,
said,
this has been a treat, man. How can the people follow you on social media?
man, all my stuff pretty much the same. You got show, SHOW_KCASE29. That's my Twitter and that's my Instagram.
There you go, man. Casey Hayward, the best cornerback, not just the slide or the outside, the best cornerback in the league, man. I appreciate you rocking our Prostyle Podcast today, bro.
I mean, fast, man. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Sir. DU all day.
Already.